This is going to be one of the more interesting videos in the series because I'm going to show you how I made this, but I'm also going to say that you shouldn't make it like this at all. So you'll see if you open up the plans, I've done something entirely differently there. I was working from reference photos. Like, there's nothing wrong with how this door ends up looking. The way in which it is made is completely different. So I recommend that instead of taking 4 individual planks, which are just a few mils thick, and then making all of these little planks and putting them on top and gluing them and scoring individual detail on them, that you just make one big chunk for each door. So taking a piece that's maybe 10 mil thick, cutting off the angle that's shown in the schematics, and from there you can, rather than doing all the little details on all the little pieces here, you can do the little details on just the one big piece, just going directly into the foam. It will be so much quicker, it will be so much less fiddly, and you won't have to do this kind of stuff like that. It's gonna look like that, but it's gonna be on the door as not individual planks. So yeah, you can just mess around. I just wanted to make the door look a little bit more fancy, so I kind of added these kind of zigzag details and some diamond shapes, and that's kind of what it looks like in the film. If you wanted to make a movie accurate one, it would be very different. But the door itself is actually pretty simple to make if you do it not in this style, because it is just 2 pieces essentially. It's one piece which makes up the kind of wooden part of it. And we don't need the bracing pieces that I'm about to show you that I'm making here, but you could make these if you wanted to. But yeah, essentially it's 2 pieces. It's one piece which is the wooden part, and it's one piece which is the metal part, the kind of the metal frame. So essentially you're cutting one piece which is 10 mil thick, and then you're going to scribe all the details in as if you're doing the door that you can see at the front of the frame now, and then another piece which is kind of 2 mil thick, and it's the same kind of cross section, but it's only 2 mil thick, and then I'm cutting parallel lines to cut out a frame like that. So 2 wooden pieces, 2 metal pieces, and that's it, rather than the kind of dozen or so pieces that I've used in this video. That's part of good enough scenery thing here. I make the mistake so you don't have to. So that's kind of the benefit of buying the guide or having access to this guide. But yes, stick the frame to the front of that. Apply some weight on it so that it kind of holds nice and firmly. And then we're going to prime this with PVA mixed with black paint. Leave that to dry, and that's a nice solid base for us to be working with. And then from there, using whichever colors you want. So this is a brown from Vallejo Paints, and doing that across all of the wooden areas. Nice and simple. It doesn't matter if you go on the metal frame, because you're going to paint over that with something like lead belcher after that. And then to add some wear after that, the way in which I did that, I mean, you could use Agrax Surfade or like a wash, something like that, but I used a sponge and some Rhinox hide, as you'll see in a second, and I just gently sponged this over a few areas just to make it look a little bit more worn. It's a very, very simple way of just adding random parts of color onto a door, make it look a little bit rusty. So very, very simple way of doing that. So doing that across both doors, and they are done, ready to be stuck down in a minute.